All right, Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for December 14th through the 20th. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this channel, be sure to check the description down below. All right, Taurus, so a busy week in the astrology, but a lot easier than it has been with Mars forming that T-square up to Uranus and Pluto the first couple weeks of December. Busy in the astrology with sextiles. There can be some opportunities this week. There's, of course, the squares, which are very natural to take place with these sextiles. In fact, there's really only two here that are of, more of the challenging energy. And over the weekend, we do have Mercury going over that Uranus-Pluto square, so activating that, which for you is your financial material sector, as well as your self-expression, which we'll talk about. But right here at the beginning of the week, the sun does square up to Jupiter, which is quite optimistic in nature. And this has been a Jupiter in your fourth house. So where there's been expansion, or at least maybe optimism or stuff you're learning about the home and family and your roots or your past, or maybe even your health, this can be a great opening to the week to ground that. Maybe things around home and family could be nice. Could be a good day for that. There's been a lot of attention and focus, I think, on your one-on-one relationships and connections in this whole lunar cycle of Ophiuchus for you, which is good. So a good way to bring that in. Good dose of optimism there, especially from the emotional body and anything regarding home and family. Maybe even health as well. Now on Monday, also Mercury does sextile up to Neptune, so it could be easy going, maybe in regards to the financial material aspects and the self-expression this early part of the week. And that's been a Mercury in your 8th house, so you are seeing things deeply and profoundly for how they actually are. And maybe that, honesty, openness is coming through the more social aspects of life too. So a good time to work on that, especially because you do have support with the more easygoing energies of Neptune. And that's a Neptune in your 10th house, so it could be in the area of work and career. Now, as we get into Thursday, we do have Venus sextiling up to Pluto, so more opportunity here, opportunity for change for you in general. Venus is your ruler, and Venus is actually shifting into your 6th house this early part of the week as well. So there is this interesting, dynamic of where you have been perhaps focused on more of the self-expressive interests and things like that. There is a shift into, I think, more of the self-improvement, maybe the health, the diet, the routine, things like that for about the next few weeks with Venus here in your 6th house. So with that being said, on Wednesday and Thursday could be good for change there. Maybe you're getting the routine taken care of, maybe the health, maybe the work environment, something is structuring there so you can have more enjoyment and maybe better connections at work or whatever it is. Could be relationships, could even be financial, which is sometimes the case with Venus. But for you personally, Venus is, of course, that 6th house ruler, and she also does, represent you in the chart. So a big shift here into, I think, the improvement aspects of life. And since Venus is in dignity, it could come across as quite easy to work with. So easy going there, or at least change and constructive change with you here this middle part of the week. And then towards the weekend, the sun does start to square up to the North Node. So it's a good time to see where the life path is and how it's unfolding, specifically maybe with relationships, and could be some constructive things there where you're bringing in the relationships with your self-expression and working hard on that this later part of the week. And your North Node is going into your 4th house in 2016, so you might start to feel the shift as we get closer to the new year, involving more of attention on getting in touch emotionally, maybe connecting to home, family, your roots, and matters relating to health. Now on the weekend in particular, Saturday and going into Sunday, we do have Mercury then forming that T-square up to Uranus and Pluto. So there's a change happening for you. It might be in the financial material aspects, since Mercury does rule that 2nd house. It could also be involving the 5th house of your self-expression, how you create, what your interests are, what your hobbies are. All of that could be changing here this later part of the week, and that's a good way of approaching it. I think being open to that, and I think there's something calling you about freedom and individuality, maybe in the community or group sector, which is Uranus in that 11th house. So a good weekend for change when it comes to those areas. Really changing your perspective is really what it's about, involving financial material and self-expression. I think can help you get deeper, help you get rid of any old fears, any old attachments relating to those areas in general, with Mercury in that 8th house. So I think that's pretty much it. Venus does trine up to Chiron, so things relating to the health and diet and the routine and just you in general could be feeling quite healed over the weekend. All right, could be a healing sort of weekend, even though there's a lot of things changing and transforming with those areas I mentioned. I think there's a big shift, especially with Venus coming out of Virgo, now going into Libra. I think it's, just for you guys in general, much easier to work with in life, and maybe even some more energy levels as Mars and the Sun start to get closer to the top of the chart. All right, Taurus, I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Take care.